Watch Bellick and Casey Delp back there in the back of the pack.
Abelson will get a good jump out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Sabe, Yeager giving chase. Roberts running in second on the start there coming out of turn number 4. Jeff Larson at 7-0 got a little loose, gathered it back up, but he has dropped quite a few positions already on the racetrack.
Mikey Mullen, one man on the move, and another 99 car down the inside, following Casey Delp along. Up into the front of the field as Mullen puts the move on Delp, coming out of turn number 4.
Look at the battle right now. Jesse Sabe, Justin Yeager, they're putting on a show. Coming out of turn number 2, Yeager with the car and a half advantage over Sabe as they head down on turn number 3. Both giving chase to Abelson.
Well, those two just got done duking it out down at Kokopah Speedway in Yuma, Arizona. And right now, Yeager powers away from Jesse Sabe. Jeremy Frenier flying J, and a 17J car running it down for 4 spot. Looking for 3 is Nick Roberts. Way up high, almost got her into the wall.
Well, Nick Roberts brushing up against that concrete up there in turns number 1 and 2. Abelson banging away. Frenier now looks a little low for Sabe. That will be for 3rd on the speedway. Frenier has it. He's cleared. He's looking on Yeager.
Meanwhile, out in the next state, it is the 1X car, Chris Abelson up front. The Sioux City runner has just laid a lot of gun between himself and the battle taking place for the number 2 spot. Frenier peeked to the inside of Yeager that time, coming out turn number 2, couldn't seal the deal. He'll go after him again and storm the castle onto the front straightaway.
Well, Yeager and Frenier putting on a show now. Frenier running that low side. Yeager runs the middle groove around 1 and 2. Frenier gets a good run this time out of turn number 2. Frenier with the car length advantage over Yeager down the back straightaway.
He's got the advantage. Can he hang on to it, though? Justin Yeager, 33 wide car, will settle into the number 3 position, try to follow Frenier. Frenier will not, well, I'm going to say he's not going to be able to run down Abelson up front, but with a little bit of clean air in front of him, he might be able to get the job done. He's got 5 laps remaining. That's plenty of time.
Well, half a straightaway lead right now for Abelson as he works down into turn number 3. Here comes Frenier working that low side. Yeager, Sabe working in behind as well as they work their way down with 4 to go.
Jeremy Frenier, once he shrugged off Yeager, he's hitting the marks and putting it around the racetrack. He's clipping off some distance on Chris Abelson up front. Not as much as he needs to get the number 1 position on the racetrack, but he's very solidly into the number 2 spot.
Well, right now, Jesse Sabe, he's got some pressure coming up from behind, and Chris Mills and Mike Mullen. Mills and Mullen running 5th and 6th. They're trying to close down on the 999 of Sabe.
Well, Mullen had to make that charge from the number 11 starting position on the racetrack. He's following Chris Mills in the 0-2 car. Mills had started outside row number 3, so Mike Mullen may be the car, the faster of the 2 right there. Unfortunately, he's stuck behind Chris Mills. He doesn't want to go to the outside. He keeps trying to go to the inside, pestering around, and here comes the opening he's looking for.
Well, Mullen's going to try to slip down to the low side of Mills as they enter down into turn number 1. Mills, Mullen, side by side. Mills with the advantage as they exit 2. Right now, though, you take a look at the front. Abelson will exit 4 down to the line. White flag is flying. Frenier closed the gap a little bit, but I don't think he's got enough time left to do it.
Not going to be able to get the job done. So I'm watching Mike Mullen right now. I'm reminded of one thing. I had a conversation earlier on. I was told that Brian Mullen, his father back in Wisconsin, sent the message. He said, patience is the key. You've got to be patient. And Mike right there displaying a lot of patience that time in the 99 car. Checkered flag comes out. It is going to be the 1X of Chris Abelson, followed by Flying J, Jeremy Frenier. And finishing out in the 3rd redraw spot is going to be Justin Yeager, 33. And Sabe, the final car to make the transfer. And Abelson.
Out of turn 4, it's Lawrence and leading them out. Green flag is out. We're underway.
Lots of former national champ coming from the back row in the 95 car. He's already got himself up 2 positions as they head into turn number 1 and 2. And Dylan Smith in the 95 is going to be headed towards the front. Lawrence, and unfortunately got ambushed coming out turn number 2. He's back to the number 3 position right now. But Ron will go back after those race leaders out of turn number 4.
Well, happy is happy. Gilman, your leader, heading down the front straightaway. Clayton Christensen runs to the high side of him. Working down into turn number 1. Christensen, he's going to take that middle groove on Gilman down the back straightaway. Gilman holding him off as the 21H Jeff Hunter right there with us.
Jeff Hunter wants to go 3 wide. You can see it in his eyes coming out turn number 4. He'll work down the inside, following Happy Gilman out of turn number 4. Gilman still your race leader. Christensen to the outside. Hunter in the 21H followed by Lawrence in your top 4 in the transfer spot. But here comes Dylan Smith all the way from the back of the field.
Jared Hoffman, he's getting a whole handful of Dylan Smith down the back straightaway this time. Dylan Smith will drop it down into turn number 3. He will now set his sights on Lawrence in that 10-pin machine for 4th. Gilman battling up there with Hunter and Christensen. Dylan Smith trying to get it down on the low side of Lawrence, and no dice this time.
Watch Dylan Smith. He's going to have to pick it very carefully if he's going to get around Lawrence. Ron Lawrence, one of the most stable drivers you've ever seen behind the wheel of a race car. He will hit the marks, put it exactly where he wants it, and that's how he wins it, or won the championship last year. Very consistent finisher. He's got to maintain his line. Dylan Smith has got to work to get around the number 10 car, and he's got to do so if he wants to get himself into the big dance.
Well, you got the three machines up front. You've got Happy Gilman, Clayton Christensen, and Jeff Hunter battling there for that lead. Christensen now working to the high side of Hunter as Dylan Smith is working in, trying to find a way around Lawrence.
Up front, Happy Gilman, Josh Gilman taking him out back straightaway. Here comes the Colorado runner, Jeff Hunter in the 21H car. Hunter down on the inside, Christensen to the outside. There's two cars locked in a tussle behind the race leader as we are across just 4 laps remain in this heat race number 2.
Well, you gotta wonder, is Dylan Smith just baiting Lawrence right now? Jeff Hunter, he's got the move on Gilman down the back straightaway as he'll sit him down on the low side, entering into turn number 3. Gilman tries to battle back, but Jeff Hunter, your new leader with 3 to go.
Well, like everybody else, Jeff Hunter had his car up on jack stands, was tweaking on the unit down in the pits earlier today. Apparently, whatever he did was perfect for that 21H car, because here he goes out on the back straightaway as a caution flag is out. Here comes the green flag.
Jeff Hunter will bring him down the front straightaway, down into turn number 1. Christensen, he's going to swing to the high side of Gilman. Here's where Dylan Smith wants to try to make that move, but Lawrence is too strong off that low side. Will take the advantage away from Dylan Smith, but here comes the Osceola 95 back in.
How frustrating does that have to be for Dylan Smith in the 95 car to charge all the way from the tail of the field up to a non-transfer spot, the last non-transfer spot you can have right behind Ron Lawrence. It'll give him a great start for the B-main event, but he cannot get his way around the old number 10 car down the back straightaway.
Well, what he's got to hope for is Lawrence is going to clear Christensen, and Dylan can come through and try to clear Christensen as well. Here's Dylan banging his way to the front, 3 wide down the front straightaway. That battle for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Trying to rattle Lawrence, and Lawrence says, nay, nay, not going to happen. He's right back down in front of Dylan Smith. You got to do better than that. Smith trying to force the issue, but look at that. Christensen slides up high, rolls out the red carpet. Here comes Lawrence and through. Now Dylan Smith working on Christensen in the 1cc car. Checkered flag comes out. Christensen gets on through. It looked like Dylan Smith picked up that 4th and final transfer spot. Lawrence to the outside will finish out in the number 5 position.
Nebraska, very strong runner. We'll see what he can do. But Shane Durney will lead him out. Turn number 4 to the line. Green's out. We're underway.
Durney down low on the racetrack. Lund working the middle of the racetrack. 87L car can't quite get the power to ground. Spun the tires on it. He keeps himself out in front of the number 3 of Ferguson, however. So 3F will break to the outside of Lund. Lund goes down to the inside of the racetrack. Didn't expect that as he's digging around trying to find some traction. As around goes the 71. Hello. Contact and chaos. One into the wall on the front stretch. The number 10 car bloused and gouged right there is Rick Fierro, the Cheyenne, Wyoming runner. Caution flag going to come out on this.
Looks like we're getting ready to go back to the green flag right about now.
Indeed we are. Up front it's going to be Durney. Taking him down into 1 and 2. Lund following him down on the inside. Hikes up that left front tire. Lund on the attack. Peeks out. It's got the nose on it. He's got the power on him too down the back straightaway. Good rowing session right there for the A7L car. He's got the race lead down through 3 and 4.
Working his way out of turn number 4. Here comes that 87L of Kurt Lund on the move. Durney running in that strong 2nd spot. Cole Ferguson sticking his nose in there. He runs 3rd currently on the speedway.
Tad Rutzel also working well down the inside of the racetrack. He's got that 4th and final transfer spot, but I don't believe he's done. Ferguson may be in trouble right now. Is down in turn number 3 and 4. Watch Rutzel. Tad bringing that car hot out of turn number 4 right on the tail feathers in 3F car.
Trying to get to the roadside of Ferguson. A lot of smoke coming off Rutzel's 5 machine. Down the back straightaway he goes. Now it clears up. Look at the battle for 4th right now, though. It's Durney, but he's got Keller on his low side.
Rutzel's quick coming out of the corner. I think the bodywork on that right hand or left-hand side got pushed in. If he's only on the throttle just a little bit, it's cutting on that left rear tire. Rutzel's got to be careful. As soon as he gets it under full goose, you can see it move up under there. That rear end working up and clears the bodywork, but right there at half throttle, that's trouble for Rutzel. He's got to stay away from that.
Well, Kurt Lund starting to walk away from Rutzel and the rest of the field. You'll see it right now as he gets down in there to turn at number 1. That time not so bad. Looking now third and fourth right now. Cole Ferguson holding that 3 spot. Ruby's moved up to 5th. Here comes Mr. 4-time national champion, Johnny the Jet.
Are you surprised? You shouldn't be surprised. He's definitely worked his way through the field. He's got the number 4 spot called the 3 spot as he runs over the tires to the inside of Ferguson. Just that quick. He's got 3rd on the field. He'll go after the 11K of Keller. Keller, long time since he's been down here. He's a strong runner coming from up north. Right now holding down the number 2 position.
Well, here comes Sadoff looking to the low side of Keller this time as they get down into turn number 1. Sadoff working the low side on Keller. Sadoff clears it for 3rd and now down the back straightaway on Rutzel.
3rd, I forgot all about Lund way up front. He's stealthing around there in that black car. The stealth gear coming out of their left front up in the air. Green flag flies. 2 laps remain for Lund up front. Rutzel running into number 2 spot, followed by Johnny the Jet Sadhoff, and rounding out those 4 transfer spots is the 11K of Jeremy Keller.
Now the battle for 4th, waging back towards the back there. You've got the 11 machine of Jeremy Keller holding that spot right now. But Ferguson right there on his back bumper and moving up there as well. Travis Dick is in that 21T. He says, I'd like a shot at it.
Dick is coming from back on the row number 6 on the inside, the 11th starting spot, but he's not going to make it. His white flag is already flown. This is checkered flag for Lund coming out of the corner here. Lund waves to the crowd with that left front tire, leave the left front at home for Kurt Lund as he picks up the win. Rutzel will finish out in 2nd, followed by Sadhoff and Keller, your top 4 that will advance.
Him running here for a few years now in that 30 machine. We'll see how quick he can get up to the top of the field as Ruby brings him out of turn 4. We are underway for the final heat of the afternoon.
Ron Hillebust up front, not H-Car trying to set the pace on the field, slides up high on the racetrack. He's going to gather it back together and pour the coal to it out of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Here comes Zimmerman in a 6 car. 3rd year behind the wheel of a modified, his first racing experience. He's got a bit of a push down to turn number 3 and 4. He's going to give up 1 spot to Grabowski in the number 30.
Well, David Murray Jr., he's working his way up. He's already up to 4th. I do not see the 7 of Jay Notabloom out there, though.
Notabloom is suspiciously absent at this point in time as Zimmerman gets forced out way behind on the racetrack. He's going to give up more than 1 spot as here comes David Murray Jr. in the 97M car. Finished out 2nd in the feature event. He's 4th right now, and he will not be staying there very long.
Hillebust works his way down the back straightaway with Grabowski, Ruby, and Murray giving chase into turn number 3 and off 4. They will come this time, 7 to go.
Whoa, look how Corey Ray just locked up down at turn number 3 and 4. The rear end locked up on that car. It came to a halt and stacked up the tail of the field. Caution. Hillebust taking him down into turn number 1 and 2. Grabowski down the inside. Grabowski was very dominant last night. He knows his way around the racetrack. He knows his way to number 1 spot. He's got it out of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Hillebust shuffled back to 2nd. And behind, here comes David Murray Jr. down the inside.
Murray Jr. trying to lean to the low side of Ruby out of turn number 4. That battle for 3rd of the speedway. Hillebust holding down that 2nd position. Ruby, Murray getting tangled up. Murray going around. No, he's not. Murray will keep it going. He will be back into that 4th spot. Ruby holding 3rd. It's Hillebust 2nd, Grabowski 1st.
Ruby wasn't happy with that move Murray laid on him, and right now that was a very bad thing to do. I hope Ruby was thinking ahead because here comes David Murray Jr. Murray keeping that car underneath of him. How? I have no idea. That's how you win almost 500 or over 500 feature events. He can do incredible things behind the wheel of a race car, and right now Josh Ruby is in his sights, and I pity the fool.
Well, it's not Mr. T, it's Mr. M. David Murray Jr. Now he's going to lean it hard on the low side of Ruby again. And goodbye, Ruby. Josh Ruby back to 4th, and David Murray Jr., he's on his sight set on Robert Hillebust right now.
Called a hunch, but I have a feeling David Murray Jr. was behind the wheel of the 97M car gesturing to him as he went by. He's got the number 3 spot and says, see ya to Ruby. Ruby now 4th on the field. Murray on his way trying to run down Hot Rod Hillebust. Look at Grabowski out front, though. He's got everything but a vapor trail coming off that car.
Well, you know, that is the difference between a good driver and a so-so driver. You get shoved around like that. We saw Sheriff Bonnet take it earlier in the stock car and held on to it. We've seen Murray do that, but Murray doesn't retaliate. What does he do? He passes them. We saw a couple last night driving right into the back end of other vehicles and taking them out.
That was a beautiful thing to watch right there. White flag comes out. Grabowski up front, takes it one more time around the racetrack. Harvey strapped on his cape, reached down, flipped that little switch, and said beast mode and drove away from him.
Well, I don't know if that machine has cruise control, but he's going to put it on right now about 4 or 5 laps ago. Out of 4, Grabowski. He's going to pick up win here in heat number 4.
Grabowski across the stripe already. Got to wait this long for Hellebuss to get here. Then David Murray Jr. and Ruby will finish out those top 4 transfer spots for the 92 car, falling just a bit